Hey fellas, Rusty coming at you, and today we're taking a look at currently my final case 6318 pattern Stockman. I think it makes 6, and they're all in bone, and so I am looking for a kieranite or maybe a wooden one. I have ranging from about 4 of them are 2022 and newer. I think I have a 2014 or 15, that's a Bermuda green. And now we're looking at a 1997, and in the late 90s, it's hard to find the year. So we'll take a peek here. That's our tank stamp, and you should be looking at 3 dots right there. So I bought this knife off of eBay, and I paid a whopping $60 for it. At the same time, I saw another one that they wanted $100 for. Now, I will admit this one didn't seem to be as in nice a condition as the other one, but after I got it, it cleaned up excellent, and the blades look perfect. They're fine. In fact, they might even be unused. I don't know if this one's ever been sharpened or not, but we're not going to spend a lot of time on the pattern. We'll just talk quickly. You got a muskrat type of a clip or California clip point blade. We already kind of talked about the tank stamp on there, nice and deep. And that's what that looked like. The chestnut obviously is kind of a wood colored, and you can see some orange. And it's one of my favorite covers, and I love it out of the mid to late 1990s, prior to the year 2000. And we have this block shield called a block script, as opposed to an oval script, which I don't actually have any comparisons for that. I use sandpaper. You guys probably get tired of hearing me about that. Somewhere in the 2,000 to 5,000 to up to 7 and then 10. To remove any patina, and I'll remove some of the bolsters, scrapes, nicks, dings, as well as try to bring some of this orange bone out. And we're back, and I don't know if you heard that. That was a jet flying over, and man alive, I swear I didn't know they could stick in the area that long. Woo! Or make that much noise. So, springs look pretty decent. Maybe sinus looking gap right in through here. Action on a very nice, good spring on that. These ones are just a tad weak, so we'll get into. All right, just the smallest, you can see a little bit of kick there. That's acceptable. Take a peek at how the blade stamps were done, and this is your Sheepsfoot blade. Very smooth across here. Very happy with that. And moderate snap here, very weak. If you've watched the videos on this, you've seen this knife before, and this particular blade does not have great snap. It does have good, fit and finish across here. The springs, slightest differential, but that actually looked like some snap. So, hey, let's get out a couple comparison knives. So I'm going to stick this right here, and we'll bring those out. Okay, and here we go. So what are we looking at here? Well, here is a case, full-size trapper with the same features. Let me see if we can. Okay, so this is probably a 1999. I only see the one dot. It's going to have Tru-Sharp. It's got the block shield. Hopefully you can see that. You can see, I love how that bone goes, and the chestnut is a very collectible bone. Unfortunately on this trapper, I didn't get that same orange in here. Not the light orange. If you look hard, you may find it, but that one, that's a really pretty bone. But I like this. If it matched this side, that would be fantastic. So anyways, I think these are both attractive, especially on the show side. So we're not seeing as much orange in this one as we see on that one. And you know me, Rusty's already thinking, I wonder if I can dip that in some orangish brown, dye it, you know. We're going to take a look. Sometimes you may or may not be familiar with a knife maker known as Bluegrass Cutlery. Bluegrass Cutlery has had and still has today the licensing rights to make Winchester knives, and they are still making Winchester knives today. You got some Barlows. They make John Primble as well. So I have a John Primble knife that I believe was made by Bluegrass Cutlery. So here's a Winchester Seahorse or Whittler. So I believe the Seahorse is going to have this Warncliffe kind of a blade, and then we have the two generally pen blades and or maybe a coping blade for the Whittler pattern. This would be done in carbon steel as well. We know this, well, not as well. This case is in Tru-Sharp. This would be 1095 steel. They call this burnt orange, and that's what we're going to really kind of focus on here, is come back to that. There is your pen blade. And another pen blade. So go check out the video if you want on this. And let's go ahead and compare bone, shall we? So now we're looking at that chestnut versus burnt orange. And you can kind of see, I believe this one, let me see if I can find a year. Woo. So that's 1995. So you can kind of see what was happening in the knife industry in 1990s, late 1990s. A burnt orange and chestnut. Kind of some popular colors. And then we'll bring up, let me just clean my blades while we're at it. You can see some of that tang stamp, so go look, see if I got a video out on this one yet. And here we go. Hopefully we'll switch these around. Slippery. And here, oops. And I think sometimes it's nice just to show off and not even really talk. We'll take a look at this. Look at, Bluegrass Cutlery, I think, is a quality maker. They really put those liners and springs together very nicely. I'll go ahead and open this up. Oh, yeah. I think these are like $100 knife right here, and you can pay $100 for this one if you find a really good example. But the action on that's actually kind of fun, kind of impressive. So we'll be done. Oh well, I'm gonna throw something out there. That's your mahogany bone. So if you haven't seen the video on that, that's a good comparison for a knife if you don't feel like shopping around for one of these chestnuts. check and see if you can find one of these mahoganies. These are out of the year 2022, 2023, so they're not going to be that old, and you can maybe pick one up. If you want to go ahead and take the time, shop around, find yourself a chestnut one, be my guest. Have a great day. Thanks for joining me. Bye.